Oh, hi. Welcome. I'm just sort of daydreaming that maybe I was on the beach, but yeah, today we are expecting to be 100 and I think around 14, which is like 3 degrees cooler than it has been. Let me put on my seeing glasses here. And that means I'm dreaming of the waves. So today is the perfect day to talk about the release of my very first crochet pattern. That's right. I've been teasing about this for a month or two now that I've been working on this, and I finally have all of the pieces together. And today is the day that it is finally going to be released. So, do you want to see it? Well, of course you do. So, let me tell you a little bit about this first. This pattern is called the Beach Waves Bucket Bag, and that's because it is a bucket style bag inspired by the waves of the beach, the waves as they kind of come up onto the beach. You know, they make those little things like that. Oh, it's just, yeah, stunning. So, let me tell you what you're going to get in this video. You're going to get all the details on where you can get the pattern. You're going to get a little bit of my inspiration on a little bit of my inspiration on what inspired me. Way to go, Nicole. Yes, all of that good stuff. Can you tell I'm a little excited? I'm a little excited. This is my very first pattern, and there is so much to share with you. Stay tuned. If you want just the details, I will put the link down in the notes below on where you can grab the pattern yourself. This is a written pattern. I did not do a video on this. I'm not sure that I'm skilled enough to walk you through a video of how to do the pattern. Maybe. I don't know yet. So that might be a future me problem, something that I will do in the future. But written pattern, yeah, I could write that. And so I'll give you all of those kind of details. I do have some notes here, so I'm going to be kind of checking this periodically because I have a 52-year-old memory that is on stress mode right now due to other life stuff, but that's okay. So let's talk first about my inspiration. So here's some photos of the Outer Banks that I took last summer when my husband and I were on an RV road trip and we visited the Outer Banks. It is a stunning place. It is just, if you like the beach, this place is breathtaking. There is so much to see there. It's an amazing place. And living on the West Coast, this was my very first visit to the Outer Banks. So I was really excited to be there. And while I was there, I found this great yarn in a local yarn store, which I will link to down below so you can go visit them as well. And this yarn just screamed Outer Banks sunset. So I had to find something that I could do with the yarn that was going to really remind me of the beach and remind me of that experience, because when I go to these local yarn stores and buy local hand-dyed yarn that's inspired by the area, it's a little bit like buying a souvenir because I want whatever I make with it to always remind me of the place that I was. And I couldn't find a pattern that was doing that for me. So I decided to make my own. I know I'm a little adventurous that way. And this is what I came up with. So this was my inspiration, the very first one that I did. I decided to take the brown kind of sandy colored, this is a cotton, and I wanted to do a wave stitch along here. I'd never done a wave stitch before, but I wanted to do a wave stitch along here that would just really give that feel of how the water comes up onto the beach, the sand, and it kind of creates that really ripple effect. And then I wanted to bring in the the beautiful yarn that I had picked up that kind of looks like the sunset reflecting on the water. Don't you think? I mean, that's the vibe that I get. This was just the way that the yarn worked out. Now, I was thrilled with this bag. And then I picked up some macrame cord that gave me the nautical feel. That's what I was going for, is I wanted that nautical rope feel. So rather than, crocheting a strap or an I-cord or something, I wanted that nautical rope feel. So this is what I came up with, and I love this bag. I really do. This is a great size bag when you just want to throw in your phone, your keys, maybe some chapstick, and you want to go. It's not something that is going to be carrying your beach towel and everything like that. This is just an essentials bag, and I think it's the perfect size for that, and I use it all the time. I use it to go to my Pilates class, and I keep my Pilates gloves in there. I keep my wallet in there. I keep my keys in there, my sunglasses, so that everything is in the cubby all in one space instead of, things. I don't know. I know that those cubes are watched, but having it all in one bag makes me feel a little more secure. So I use this bag a lot. And I have a gal that works for my husband. So she comes in quite regularly. She also cleans our house, so she's great. I love her. And I always want to make little gifts for her. And she saw this and she's like, that is really cool. And I said, well, pick out some yarn and I'll make one for you. She never quite got around to picking out the yarn. She looked, but she couldn't. She's not a crocheter, so she doesn't know a lot about yarn. And I think it was a little bit of analysis paralysis. She didn't know what to pick out. So I finally picked up some yarn on the Joann's clearance, and I'm like, it's time to really come around and finish up this bag for my friend, and she loved it. And that was my second bag. This is the prototype, and as I was working on it, I'm starting to take notes on all of that. And that was just the inspiration. And then finally I got to the finished item. And this is a little crinkly because I have something in there just to kind of help it keep its shape. I'll take that out so it's not crinkly. This is the final product. This is the one that I created with all of the pattern edits and modifications. So this is the whole shebang. Oops, my strap is not. There we go. Right there. This is the Beach Waves bucket bag. Don't you love it? I think it is so adorable. It is so cute. This yarn is, well, the tan is the Lily Sugar and Cream, and this is in the colorway Sonoma. So it's got a little bit of that speckle in there that sort of reminds me of the bird footprints and some seashells and just the little things that you find as you're kind of walking along the beach. There's just little things. The sand is rarely perfect, and so that kind of reminds me of a little bit of that. And then the green that kind of is that ocean color vibes is also a Lily Sugar and Cream. I don't have another one of those right now, in the colorway country stripes, country something or other. So that is that green, and then some more of the macrame cord. So those are the yarns that I used for this pattern. This is a bucket bag, so it's worked from the bottom up, and most of it is going to be pretty simple overall. There's a little bit of learning on how to do this wave stitch, but it's really not hard because it uses some basic stitch. I mean, it uses the single crochet, the half double crochet, the double crochet, and the treble crochet to make it, but then figuring out what patterning to use and to make sure that it goes around just right. but it gives it that nice little kind of wavy vibe to it. And that's what I think really sets this bag apart. I'm going to turn this upside down so you can kind of see that wavy vibe a little bit better. I think it's so neat. I love, love, love that. This bag was overall, it was not as, I think this was a perfect bag for my first pattern because I generally knew, I've been doing hats quite a bit, so I knew how to do the circle and, kind of the round shape, and I knew how to turn it so that it kind of went up the sides. This part was a little challenging to figure out, and this part, I am not good at math. Math is not my best friend by an inch. Math is not even one of my acquaintances, to be honest with you. Let's be real here. And so working out the math on how many stitches I needed so that I could have the right vibe for the wave, and how many stitches I needed to figure out where to put the holes for the workaround, all of that was one of the biggest challenges for me. Once I sort of sat down and said, okay, honey, husband, come help me because your brain works a little bit better on this. But actually, he's like, you got this. And so I wanted to ask him, and I did figure it out on my own. Yay, me. So I am pretty proud of that overall. And I did do a pattern test on this. So I'm really, really grateful that I did that because even though I went through it a couple of times with a fine-tooth comb to make sure that I had caught any errors, there were a couple errors that my pattern testers found and I was able to correct. And if you're wondering what that coupon code is going to be, well, I'm going to tell you right now. If you go to the website, which I'm going to give you in a little bit, the coupon code is summer25, all one word, no spaces in there. Summer25. So just put that in, you will get the pattern for free. So I really want to thank all of my pattern testers for their feedback, for the photos that they shared with me of their projects. It really was an interesting process. I thought I had covered all my bases, and there certainly were some things that I learned in this very first pattern test that I will be able to do better for the next test. All right, so where do we go to get this? Well, you can go to my brand new website, noitscrochet.com, and you go to the store. I'll put the link in the comments or in the notes below, and you can purchase that for $3.49, or if you caught the secret code a little bit earlier in the video, then you can get that for free for the next 30 days until July 20th. That coupon code expires July 20th, 2025. So make sure you go grab it now. And again, it'll be $3.49 as of this video posting. Prices may change, but right now it is $3.49. I wanted to keep it very affordable for everyone. And since it's my very first pattern, I thought that was a nice, easy price. No ads. You don't have to see any ads. This is a PDF version of it. So for $3.49, you get the PDF version with all of the, and I have a very unique way of writing patterns that I've never seen another designer do. So I think you might like it. Let me know for sure if you get that pattern and you spot my unique style on that, and let me know what you think for sure. Well, I used the Lily Sugar and Cream. I think you could use any cotton yarn, or honestly just about any type of yarn. I used a 4-weight yarn for this. This is the Lily cotton. This, however, this is a 4-weight on the bottom, and this is actually a 1, I think it was a 1-weight. So this one is thinner overall, but this one definitely has more structure. So you can actually get away with using just about any kind of yarn for this project. I just find that the cotton is going to hold up, be a little bit stronger, a little bit hardier overall. and give some more structure to your bag. So if you don't want it to be just kind of a droopy mess, I go with the cotton and a little bit of the heavier weight. But any of those kind of yarns, the one key to this is there is a substitute for your yarn hook size. So, and I give you all of the details in the pattern on how to figure that out. Now, as you can see from some of the pattern testers, they kind of, like, I was thinking all ocean colors and sand colors. They went off and did their own thing. And I think these are absolutely lovely bags with their own take. So just because it has that ripple effect doesn't mean that you have to stick to the tried and true beach vibe with this. You can take it in any direction you want, and that is the best part of this project. So don't limit yourself to just the colors that I chose and that I was inspired by. Feel free to do this in any color pattern you want. Now, one of the big questions that came up was why did I use such a long strap on this? And part of this strap works two ways. So you can use it as kind of a shoulder bag like that. And honestly, that's how I usually use it. So it is long enough to, let's see if I can pull this off and show you. So it can be worn like this, or if you prefer, you can pull this longwise and wear it as a bag like that. So either way works, and you can just adjust this rope to whatever size works best for you. So while I certainly have a specific length in mind for the way I like to wear my bags, feel free to adjust this however you want to. You can make it smaller so that it's a clutch if you want. And, I mean, it's just so versatile. So I love that about this bag. And I love, love, love that you can just personalize it and do whatever you want with it. So let me know, what do you think of my very first pattern design? Are you going to go grab it for yourself? If you decide to make this, I definitely want you to tag me on Instagram. Know it's Crochet. And let me see your final projects. If you're on Ravelry, the pattern is on Ravelry, so you can use that. You can tag it and put your projects in Ravelry, save it in your favorites, do all of that good stuff. I can't wait to see what you do with this pattern. Thanks so much, and hey, Farah, take us out.